Hello, YouTube people. How much am I zoomed in here? Can I zoom out more? Where's the zoomy thing? Better. I've gotten a few questions from some people over the years of what do I use to record my YouTube videos. We have reached a climax of absurdity when it comes to what I use to record my YouTube videos, because I kind of have fun going a little bit overboard and trying to create the best looking visuals. Fuck the playing, I'm not good. Can't get better. Well, I could practice instead of spending my time improving the video quality, but I'm also having fun improving the video quality. So, I just set up with the new camera that came, and I just set up to record 4 Wampler videos. And let me show you what goes into filming these Wampler videos for you. I'm holding some 4K camera that I set to HD because I couldn't find the fast card that you need. That costs ridiculous amount of money, those stupid 4K compatible cards. Anyway, that's a Sony AX, I think. Wait. FDR AX33, not the 53. Optics on this one are not as good as the new one. Anyway, so we're recording these pedals. So let's look at the audio setup first, and then we're going to look at the video setup and some other things, if you're into this. I'm going to use some guitar that is from somewhere here. I don't... probably Berumen. That's going into the Ditto looper, so I can record some amps. That's going with the cable into the Tumnus, or any of these, which is going into the tape echo. Makes sense to stay in the same company. So that these pedals don't slip around on the table, I have these cell phone things. You can use them in cars, on dashboards, so your cell phone doesn't slip. And when you wash it, it actually becomes very, very sticky again. So this is great so that the pedal doesn't move around. Because I cut the pedal out, which means it has to stay in the perfect position. Right now I'm using some of these rockboard flat patch cables to connect them. Now that is going into this Ampede 88S switcher, on which I have 8 different amps, and I could just switch between the amps right here, also different cabs if I wanted to. 1 is going into the Torpedo Live, 2 right now is going into the Torpedo Studio, 3 is going down into the basement into a Fender cab, and you can see you can actually go to different cabs if you wanted to. I will probably stick with the Torpedo Studio. The cool thing is, before I had to run over here and click, 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 click. Now I bought this. So it's on the table, and all I have to do is say, amp number 3, bam, and I'm on amp number 3. I could pick the cabs, cab number 1, and that's it. That's how simple that is. It actually just switched that. So I actually want cab number 2, amp number 1, but let's say I want to go back and forth between 2 different amps. What I can do is, let's say that's the Carl Martin and I want the Vox AC30. So I go to number 4, which is my AC30, and now I have this AB thing, and I can actually see this. Switch back and forth between those 2 different amps as if it's nothing. All off. Oh, all off. Oh, damn. 1. No! 1 amp. Oh, I need a cab. Ah, right. Cab number 2. It won't let me pick an amp without a cab. And number 4. So I can switch back and forth. And there's even a foot switch input, so I could play and switch between the amps. And that's connected with a Cat 5 cable. How cool is that? It's not inexpensive, but it definitely is something very, very cool for the videos. I will probably, as always, use the Carl Martin, the Dietzel Paul, the Hughes & Kettner Deluxe 40, which doesn't really play nice with pedals, but you need to know about it. We have the AC30 right here on the normal input. We're also going to go into the Badger, get the gain down, drive up, and why not also go into the Joyo Dual Clones. There it is, in all its glory. And that should be more than enough right now. We could go into the Beale Street as like a tweed, but that's not wired up. So, how do I film the pedal? How do I film the pedal? At some point I started doing 2 cameras because I had this pedal with ground lighting. And I thought, hey, that's kind of cool. It gives you a different angle. It gives you more feel for the pedal. And since then I had to do it, which means second camera, which means cutting out more. It's a shitload more work. But I kind of think it's cool and no one else is doing it, so I do it. So here is the side camera. Of course, everything that I do is only possible because of Triad Orbit. Please, you have to understand this. Without the stand systems, I'd be nothing, okay? So here's the side camera, which in this case is a D5500 Nikon with a macro lens on it. Depending on the angle and how far I get away, I have, you know, more lenses and a second Nikon 5200. So that's for the side right now with this fixed, what is that? It's a fixed 40. There you can see it if you're into lenses. The fixed 40 gets me at this distance exactly what I want. Then up here, and I can never remember the damn name of this camera. It is the, wait. What is it? HDR CX900. That camera has served me well as my main camera for many years now. It's a brilliant camera. And here is the top view. The camera is hooked up with this rod, I said rod, from Triad Orbit to this wall mount. And that means I don't even have a swivel mount on it. It's just in a perfect 90-degree position. So what I'm going to have to do actually, before I forget about it, I'm going to have to manually focus. Wait, here we go. Manual focus. I zoom in and I make sure that it's as crisp as it can be so that the autofocus doesn't move around when my hand comes in the picture, because otherwise the focus will change on my hand, which we don't want. We always want the thumbness to be in focus. Okay, so that's the 2 cameras for the pedal. Now there's a screen, because some stupid ass cameras don't have a screen to swivel around. The more money you spend on a camera, the less it swivels around. The professionals apparently always have videographers behind the camera. They never think about the YouTuber who wants a good camera. So that screen is connected with an HDMI cable to the Sony Alpha 6300 with a don't ask me what lens on it. Brian Wampler asked me about it, and here it is. It is the 18-105. Here you go. Sony something G. I think it's called a Self, which is cool because it actually has zoom on it for the motor, so it's very easy to use as a video lens. That camera will create amazing 4K images. It's very cool, and that's the camera I use for the shot on the guitar, which when I'm editing in HD, the 4K allows me to zoom in and out of the guitar, which is very cool. If I'm using it in 4K, I get what I film, and right now I'm attempting to film fully 4K. So the problem with this camera is the screen's on the back. Here. Annoying for someone who needs to see what he's doing. Annoying! It overheats relatively quickly, so I'm gonna have to take breaks between the different pedals. It's a bitch, but it's a rather inexpensive solution. The way that you see it here is about 1800 with that lens to get amazing image quality. So then we have, just for shits and giggles, my main camera that I've been using for a while now, for a few weeks, is the Canon XC15. And I'm keeping that on the angle that I always have, but I'm going to have a different angle today. So that's going to be just a second camera, and as you can see, that's again wall mounted with a swivel mount from Triad Orbit. It's a very compact camera, but again, foldable screen, like tiltable screen in the back, but you can't get it around the corner. So more money had to be spent on this screen so I can see what the fuck I'm doing. Hello, that's me. Hello. And so that the screen is not down there, where I would look in the wrong direction if I'm trying to look into the camera at you, I had to get the screen up. Again, tried orbit table mount in this case, a wall mount, with an extender and a swivel mount on top to get the screen to where I want it to be. So that's annoying as fuck, and just I don't even know how much that stuff costs. Probably $100 extra just to get the screen up there. But that means when I'm looking into the camera, I can actually see what I'm doing. So that really makes sense. Then, what else do we have? My main camera for today is the Blackmagic Cinema Camera 4K, which just arrived. And there is, you can't really call this overkill. It is the absolutely ridiculously Henning goes stupid overkill for YouTube videos. But when I see an amazing image with nice depth of field, it just makes me happy. I want to create great videos. So my quest for that is continuing. I just sent the mic back, the NTG8, which you saw the unboxing of, because it didn't add anything. It wasn't in any way better at the same distance than the NTG3. So I'm sticking with the NTG3 right here. And I'm keeping it about, this is probably where my head is going to be. So let's see, this is about how far I am away from the mic. And with this Triad Orbit clamp and swivel mount and all this, I can keep it nicely out of frame. So this is actually not going to be in any camera. That's Voyager, which is playing while I'm editing and stuff at the moment. So what we have here is, I think it's a fixed aperture, is that what it's called? Fixed 2.8 Canon lens. I bought it used with the camera. Camera was new. Wow, that's getting hot. Wow. That's a 2.8, 16-35. I need the wide angle. I don't really need detail shots. The problem with this is right now is, again, this screen is in the back. Yoo-hoo, that's just great. Screen is in the back. So this doesn't even have HDMI out, which means to monitor what I'm doing, I could just hook it up to the TV and see what I'm doing. No, it has SDI out because it's a professional product. So I'm waiting, hopefully tomorrow or the day after, for my 4K Blackmagic Assist screen, which I can mount right here or put on the table and actually see right under, looking in the lens, see what I'm filming. Today, I hope that it's correct. This camera, that's again, talking about spending more money, eats up actual SSD drives. So no SD cards. I actually had to invest in SSD drives, and I also invested in a Blackmagic rack-mounted, it's going to arrive with a screen, SSD drive base, so it's going to be hooked up with Thunderbolt and I can easily use it. Of course, all these cameras, this one eats SSDs, this one wants really fast SDs, they take normal SDs. This one wants stupidly expensive CFast 2 cards. And then the other one that we're going to now wants QXD cards, and this is just ridiculous. This is just a small selection of SD cards that I have. Yeah, SD, different speeds, CFast, CFast 2, blah blah blah, and now SSD. And I bought this slide rig, which is cool. Absolutely unnecessary for my normal videos, but it's nice for the tracks when I play them. I can actually have a moving camera going, and while I have more cameras and this rig set up, why not just use it? Why not just use it to get some nice shots of the room? I mean, I don't know if it's in any way necessary. Actually, I know it's completely unnecessary, but fuck that! Why not? And on it is, don't ask me why, this Sony X1 4K camera, which was a nice idea to get. Don't ask me how much it was, I don't want to say. Problem with it is, I don't quite know how to set it up so it gives me the image that I want, because I'm not clever like that. And it's great that it has the XLR inputs. That is really cool, direct XLR right here, which the XC15 also has. This is just a great camera because it has zoom, focus, and iris right here. Is it? Whatever. You have these rings. It's a great film guy camera. If you're behind the camera, you can do a lot of cool things. If you're by yourself, all these cool things kind of cannot be done. But I want to try and see what happens if I film this with the slider moving, which means I'm going to have this time not a panning shot, not a shot that stays in the middle, but actually a shot where the camera turns to the outside. So it's going to do this. And I think where it is now, it is so far away that we don't hear this. So there you go. This is the Canova slider with the, I think it's called the MSB attachment for the motor, and this pan tilt attachment on top. It's called the master pan, so that the camera slides along this thing and slowly turns. So this is what we're gonna see. We're gonna see some of the room, just because. And that is then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's only 6 cameras. We could do more. I have an attachment up there, which means we could nicely film the room from above. I have an attachment up there, so we could film down. This attachment up there actually has the Triad Orbit light attachment, because especially for this, especially for the Blackmagic, we need light. So I made it so that I don't have to crawl up there anymore. I just have a switch here in my fake plants. And now we have a nice LED panel. That's really necessary. And here I have all mounted on wall mounts, so it's all modular and I can move them around. One light and another light. Today I'm gonna leave this one off, because I don't think I'll need it today. I could of course move that to the other side. I'm gonna say it's good. I'm gonna say that the light is fine with these 3. I'm gonna try it. So, that's my setup. Amp switcher, amps, torpedoes, all, I mean that's a funny shit, all to show you a tiny little pedal with 3 knobs on it. And all this I filmed with a handheld camera that can do 4K, but I didn't find the card. So you're watching this in HD. And this thing moves around. So, this is what's happening here today. I'm excited and hopefully get some great video for you. And I have something to upload today while I'm getting this great video for you. Here, by the way, is the one of the Christmas presents I got from Leslie. Come on, how nerdy is this? How nerdy is this? And on that note, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.